So anyone have any great news that they'd like to share? Hi, Ebony. Share with us about your week or something that you've accomplished or been working on. Would love to hear it. I love good news all the time.
So I would like to start.
Wonderful.
I've been doing insurance now for 7 years.
Okay.
And every once in a while you come into a situation where it makes me glad that I'm doing what I do. And today was one of those moments.
Okay.
I shared probably about 3 weeks ago about the Barber Association, the benefits that they're going to start to get.
Yes.
So another colleague of mine told me that she had met with this hairstylist, and she's currently going through chemo for cancer. And she was like very upset because she didn't have life insurance, right? And she looked around and she could not get life insurance. But because of this program where everybody is guaranteed issue, there is absolutely no health questions. Like, she's going to get life insurance, even though she's currently going through the cancer process.
That is amazing.
Amazing.
That's
Yes,
amazing.
it is. That's amazing.
That is really good news.
And it's guaranteed, it's whole life, and it's guaranteed issue up to 200,000. So she can pick however much she wants to get. Like, it's crazy.
That is crazy. But that is amazing news. I'm glad that I recorded them.
Amen. Does he have an email address or some information? Because I'd like to tap
I was
into
going to say the
that.
same thing.
Yes.
Me too.
Wonderful. So, George, please put your information in the chat. And I wanna now I'm gonna turn into mine a little bit, because I'm like, this is something that our community really, 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 really should be getting on board with, should not ignore. I am amazed when I hear that people are walking around with no policies, because this is like the easiest wealth building, asset protecting thing that you can do. I can be broke as a joke, but I will find the money for my policy. Like, I'm not letting that go. And we can all be the same. So if you do not have life insurance and you're a part of the FTB community, it is required. And now you have someone who can help you, George. So he's going to put his information in the chat. And please don't make me start calling everybody personally and be like, did you get a policy? You got a policy? Ask Daniel. I be harping about it all the time. So yes.
Yeah, George, she been on me lately, man, saying, what do you mean you don't have life insurance? Well, me and George have already, like I told you, me and George been talking lately. I had my life insurance policies been canceled a long time ago, but I just been on this banking on self mindset and just like flowing through life. So we got to figure it out.
It is so funny because I just personally direct messaged him, Daniel, to tell him to call you. I wasn't going to put your business out there because that's not, my place. But I just messaged him like ASAP. ASAP. No games. Anybody else in here need a life insurance accountability coach? I got you.
I need one. Joseph Bailey needs one.
Joseph. Look at my face. Look at me. Get a policy. Okay. You're playing games. And none of y'all are young. Like, you guys aren't even young. Y'all old men.
It was about which direction. And I guess, you guys kind of forced us with the book. You said it's not about knowing what, but knowing who. So now I'm learning who to actually go through. So it's all good. It's just
Maria, you too? Oh my gosh, Maria. Look at my face.
At least I'm not the only one today.
Sorry.
Yes. George, I'm gonna be texting you their numbers, okay? and you're gonna give them a call. I got Joseph, Maria, and Daniel, and they better get a policy like ASAP. I'm not playing games, guys. Like, come on, look out for your families. Think about. I always make jokes with my kids. I'm like, I'm worth more dead than I am alive. So, that's a good way to be. Okay, for your family. Come on, get it together. Love y'all. All right. Did I help you out, George? Did I do your dirty work?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us this evening. Welcome to Flip These Bricks, where you never know how the call is going to go, right? Didn't think you were going to get scolded, but I'm here to do that, right? It's out of love for sure. It's out of love, and it's out of our goal is to build wealth here. We want to change life circumstances. We want to change the directory of our communities. And so this is the beginning steps. And that's, I guess, something that I'm very passionate about. So maybe I need to be selling insurance because I'm definitely like all for it. Okay.
You know that they say the first actual steps of investing is investing in your life first. And that IDL that George was explaining to me, it's a I've been doing a little research. It's a really interesting type of insurance policy. It's different than the ones that I had standard life insurance policies that I had on myself in the past.
And even being an entrepreneur, there are policies that you can like pull money from if you were ever to get injured or were out of work. So yeah, please don't sleep on that, guys. And it's not expensive, especially if you're a non-smoker. If you have a pretty healthy life, I mean, you can get a policy for 20 something dollars a month. So, and just start with something simple. I mean, we're always a community with the fish fry for the burial. Don't be the fish fry person, okay? Don't let them have to have a fish fry put you in the ground. Like, all right. Okay, moving right along. So I'm gonna share my screen. We're gonna go over our little everyday housekeeping. I'm glad to see some faces, returning faces. Hi, Madre. Hi, Luther. Thank you guys for joining. Hi, Anthony. All right, so let's just get over our housekeeping really quickly. Welcome to FTB. We connect every week, Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We usually start about 7:05 to give you guys a chance to join us. If you would, turn on your cameras. We love to see your face and learning who we are doing business with. We would also appreciate if you would just monitor your mics. If you're not speaking, if you would just make sure you are muted, and we are being respectful of those that do have the floor. And then we are here to support each other, to encourage each other, motivate each other, share knowledge and content. So please give your full attention and participate. We'd love to hear your voice and learn more and more about each and every one of you. As we have said before, your net worth is connected to your network, and you don't want to be a silent business owner, right? If you are an insurance or a realtor, as myself, people do not know, then how will your business grow? So use this opportunity to tell about yourself and your services. And that way, when we're out in the marketplace, we can remember, because now I'm going to remember George. And every time I talk to somebody and they don't have insurance, I'm going to send them his way, right? All right. And our mission here at Flip These Bricks is we're building a community. And I'm going to go off a little bit off a script today, but I was in Baltimore over the weekend and I was able to meet Janae in person. And when I tell you that was so rewarding, and it really kind of spoke to the community building, that I could go in another state and make a phone call and we had a connection, and I knew her, she knew me, there was camaraderie. So it was a great feeling. And that is what we are trying to essentially do here, is be able to go to our directory or be in a state and know that you have someone that can fulfill your business needs or even just your personal needs. It was a really great feeling. So we also want to build partnerships, share knowledge, refer business, and of course, create real estate investment opportunities. And we always say that real estate is a tool that we are using, but we are also here to promote small businesses and self-development. We can talk a little bit about membership. We have some new faces, so I'll definitely briefly speak about this. Our membership includes community, individual and group coaching, We have our weekly call. We also are going to become more consistent in our membership only calls. We had one last week and it was really, really good. I think that we learned a lot about each other and our strengths and our weaknesses as a community. You have contact or you have connections with a GC with 25 years experience. We have realtors in several of the major cities that we are in. And then we also have vendors. So this is all access to you. We are going to be starting our in-person meetings. And then we also have training that we're working on and building on. And this membership fee is for $1,500, but we also have a great referral program. So we are currently in these cities, these major cities: Connecticut, Charlotte, Mississippi, Los Angeles, Dallas, Florida, Atlanta, and New York. And by referring business, if you have someone that signs up and becomes a member, then we have $1,000 referral fee. And I'm sure Daniel will speak to this a little bit more, but I'm just going to kind of go through our slides really quickly. So, and during this part of the call, we like to get to know our connections. We're opening up the floor so that you can introduce yourselves and tell about your services and your businesses. So I'm going to stop sharing the screen and we can begin to connect. I hope everyone's doing well and ready to chit chat. Let's talk. Who's going first?
I guess I can break the ice. My name is Daniel Dawkins. I am a custom home builder remodeling company, specialize in new home construction, renovations, and remodel. So I guess my goals here are to be the go-to person as a contractor. If you guys need any information, influence, any type of joint ventures that you guys are interested in, we can definitely communicate on the new construction build side as well as like the gut renovations and remodeling. And I'll put my information in the chat as well now for those who doesn't have it.
Great. How's everybody doing? My name is Luther. I'm based out of Atlanta, Georgia. I am a business loan broker. I help people obtain capital for businesses and personal use, just depending on what you're looking for, anywhere from 50,000 to 2 million to 10 million, just depending on what your criteria is, what you have going on in terms of documentation, the level of where your business is and where you're looking to go. I've been in this space for a little over 10 years. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy helping people get access to capital. We help build strategies for individuals that need money for whatever the case may be. It could be some real estate, it could be construction, it could be import-export businesses, but we do kind of help build anywhere from the ground up to people who have been in business for several years, 10, 20 years. The name of my company is Leverage Fast. I'll put the information in the chat. And if you guys would like to connect or have any questions, you can put your information or direct message me, and I'll be more than happy to get with you as soon as possible, schedule a call so we can kind of discuss some things to kind of expand your network, expand your capital, and get you everything that you need.
Yes.
Hey,
Thank you so much.
I'm sorry, quick question, Luther.
Yes.
Just elaborate a little bit, considering that we're a group, right?
Mhm.
What would it take, as well, what would you need on your end as a group collectively, for us to come together to do joint venture projects, considering, some have the experience, some don't, inside the real estate market? What exactly, is your company looking for as far as criterias and credentials? And how much are you guys willing to fund as far as, down payment wise and, construction carrying costs and things of that nature?
To answer your question specifically, I don't deal in terms of real estate construction loans specifically. That would be for more of like a real estate direct lender. The space that I work in is more in terms of just whatever you need the money for, you so to speak.
Gotcha.
So that criteria usually is a credit-based criteria where we start at anywhere from 660 to a 680 credit score. The higher credit score, the better. But not only that, it's coupled with a couple other things. Majority of the lenders that I utilize and that I work with, they all want to see the same things. So, like I said, depending on where you're starting at determines where I kind of place you. That's why I directed it to the one-on-one calls, but I'll give you a few examples. I'll give you an example. I got a company right now that's in New Jersey. Their import-export business. They're doing very well. Their gross revenue for last year was 14 million, but they still need some money. No matter how much business you do, we all need money, and we all gonna continue to need money. So what the lenders usually want to see when you're in that type of space, or even really if you want 50,000, they're technically looking for things like a debt schedule, a profit and loss sheet, maybe tax returns for 2022, 2023, personal tax returns, business profit and loss statements, personal financial statements. Those are like the typical things. But for someone who does not have all of that in place, if they have the credit, then we can analyze the credit, do a one-on-one call, and I can come up with some scenarios and some options to help get that said individual or company anywhere from 50,000 to 200 to 250,000, just depending on what we can leverage and what we can use. So if you have a conglomerate or a group of people that meet a certain criteria, I would sit down with you guys or do a Zoom call like we're on now, come up with a scenario for each individual client because they're, they all have their own separate situation, express that to you, put the plan together, execute the plan, and kind of go from there. But in terms of just real estate directly, that wouldn't be my area of expertise. But to still answer your question, we do help people in real estate get loans. It's just not a specific lender that we go to that does real estate. And
I gotcha.
Yes. So
Thanks for explaining. It cleared up a few things for me.
no problem.
yes. So I had invited Luther on tonight. Hi, Luther. Thank you for joining. Because I know that Maria and Janae were interested in some funding, as well as Miss Janice. Miss Janice is not on the call. So if you could just direct message them your information, Janae, or even you could just put the information in the chat. You guys can kind of set up a call individually. And then I'll also share that information with Miss Janice as well.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Luther.
You're welcome.
Yes. Yeah. And I've worked personally with Luther. He's very knowledgeable. He will get you that money. I know it for sure. So he's definitely a good resource. So please make sure that you take his information down and contact him and utilize his knowledge. All right. Okay, so we have time for some more introductions. If you would, please. I don't want to call on names. Daniel, you want to call on some names?
I guess we can.
Hi,
Okay,
I'm
there we go.
Ebony.
Hi, Ebony. I love it.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ebony. I'm Daniel's cousin. I work in commercial construction. We build out spaces for airports and malls. Typically work with LAX, Los Angeles World Airports. That includes Van Nuys Airport, Long Beach Airport, Burbank Airport, and Westfield malls. You probably heard of Westfield Mall. United, URW is what they're called. We build out spaces for Westfield contracts. So that's what I do in a nutshell. I work in construction project management, and it's always a pleasure to be here amongst the group, growing and expanding our skills and knowledge base, and how to get more done.
Love it. Thank you, Ebony.
You're welcome.
Yes. So, anyone else want to unmute and introduce themselves? We have a lot of familiar faces, so you guys should be used to this by now.
What I did want to bring up is just touch a little bit on, especially with the people who is here as far as like, repeat weekly, because we know this weekly call is really our call to just really introduce who we are, what we do, talk about our business a little bit, just so when we have new faces, new business owners, they can kind of get an understanding of what FTB is really about as far as an organization and as a whole. But what I would like to do, and I guess, I don't have to, piggyback off of, everybody that's here, just kind of set an example. I can ask George Maple, this question, considering, he is a service provider. What exactly, George, do you think we can do as a weekly group in order for us to bring more business, to your company? And that's not, there's no, right or wrong answer. I'm really just setting an example because I want us as members to take in consideration and also think, about the power of partnership and, being connected to our personal network. The whole goal behind FTB is really for us to familiarize ourselves with the businesses that is part of the organization so we can become an advocate for what we do daily and always remember that there's someone within our organization that's moving forward in a direction that's outside of what we normally do daily. But we come across individuals daily that need services, partnerships, and that's basically what we're here for. So I use George as an example only because I'm seeing him right on my screen. I know he is a service provider. As members, we want to go out and we want to let every individual know that may need insurance. We have someone within our network. So just to ask you, George, what do you think we can do to help promote your business, just so other members of the organization can kind of get a concept of of the needs that you may need, just to kind of make your phones ring on your end?
Um, for the last 7 years, I've been really just adding services. And my goal was to sit in front of somebody, and when they say I need, I say I got it. And that's been my sole focus. And I really just got there this year, right? So when it comes to housing, like I have a partner now, another Black-owned business. So what I don't do, he does. So that comes to auto insurance, house insurance, long-term, short-term disabilities, what I do, Medicare, health insurance, dental, vision, hearing, like everything. So literally whatever you need, I have it. I have a company that can provide that. And don't a lot of people get discouraged where you say, I've had cancer. Um, I I was telling people today before earlier in the meeting that I have a lady that's going through cancer right now, and I'm able to get her a policy. So those are the things where you can't say that I've had this or I've been declined, I've been turned down. Like I eat that up all day, every day. And I love doing it because there's a solution out there for everybody. I deal with Medicare is something that I just started dealing with about 2 years ago. So now my conversation with people and getting into that space of over 65, what they call T65, my thought process is different and how to set you up for retirement. Because once you stop working, that's when that long-term care kicks in. Like we're all going to get old and we're not going to be vibrant forever. And that's where you need some policies to put in place so you are comfortable. I sit with people every day in Medicare that are not working, and some of them have to return back to work. They are not comfortable, and being in Medicare really opened my eyes to things. There's a lot of people that are literally have went backwards after they started working. Like they are food deficient. And I sit with these people every day and I try to put them in something where I can get them some money monthly just so they can eat. So, my conversations are totally different when it comes to that. and caring about people and what life is going to look like after you retire, or if something happens and you got to sit down immediately and you're not in retirement, what do you have to pull from to maintain your way of living, and you don't start liquidating everything just to survive.
Exactly. I get it. And
Do you really?
yeah, I get it. And it's you start in trouble. But no, me and George, we talk, and it's just a matter of timing. So I gotta kind of, get the calendars and the schedule to kind of lock in, and then that'll kind of make things go. But what you
I'm
just
gonna tell you
mentioned,
I'm gonna tell you a story, Daniel, because time and my brother is not on your side. Everybody thinks that, and I can tell you stories where people thought they had time, and you're only a doctor away from getting what you want to getting just something. And that can happen tomorrow. I had a lady that I got her a policy, and like this story sticks to me so well. She got a policy. She said, I want to get my son a policy. And I'm like, okay. And you know how we do. I followed up, and she started getting irritated because I was following up. Like, that's just where we just start getting irritated. And then she came to the point where she was like, I'll call you when I'm ready. And I said, okay, I'm not that type of person where I'm gonna just keep on calling. We're gonna have the conversation, and I'm gonna leave it up to you. The day that I had it on my calendar to call her about her son died that day.
Happens every day.
Every day it happens.
It happens.
and
Every
I guess the point that I was making is all of us are in different industries, and we got to really understand the reasoning why we actually creating this global business network. And considering that we are in different industries, when we get to realize and understand that we have members that are in different industries, if we package that into our internal, day of life, it's almost like we become the sales force for each other to know that we're providing these services. Now, if it was us, we would get up all day, we would go out in the world, we would let the world know, listen, this is what I do, this is how I pay my bills, this is what we're going to service. If we apply that same principle every day, knowing that now we do multiple things, but we don't have to do multiple things because we have a member within our organization that actually does that, and we put that on our forefront, then it will become, our reality, to where it can stem to the power of partnership of us actually, working together. And what George mentioned, to the end, about helping people financially and, mentally on, as far as understanding the values of his services, this is why we have our referral program. And I challenge each and every last one of you guys to go and speak to 5 people that you know and bring them back to the call next week and let them understand the value of what we actually creating and be able to profit from bringing those relationships to the table. Because at the end of the day, that's the reason why we have the FTB referral program, because we want to pay it forward. We want to make sure that we're bringing other like-minded people to the table. So therefore, you get paid for bringing great situations to the table. So then we have, funding that we can actually use to start investing. I have a project coming up. I'm actually down in Texas now, and my timeline, I think it's 6:30 here, so I'm an hour behind you guys. But I had a chance to speak to Anthony. I have a couple of other people that I'm bringing on board, as well as I'll be sharing some information with you as well, Ebony. We are getting really, really close to this land development project. And just within our organization itself, there's 3 people within our personal panel that I can reach out, that I can actually bring to the table to be part of the team because of their industries, of what they actually do. that can benefit from a development project that I'm actually personally working on, and that can expand. And that's what we have to do as an organization, is actually reach out and see what is it that we are all doing individually. I do also encourage, everyone to put their information in the chat and start getting to know each other, letting each other know where you at and what you do. Because in order for us to advocate for each other's businesses, we got to get familiar with each other and know where you guys are at. And that's personal. So we got to take the time to build those personal relationships so we can come out and we can promote each other's businesses, as well as their well-being and their needs of, exactly, why you guys are actually here and what you want to get out of FTB, besides just the real estate investment portion, so it can be a benefit and value to what you guys do in your day-to-day life.
Yes. So I'm glad that you said that, Daniel, because it's a great segue into our book that I've been shoving down everybody's throat, but it's still like my new Bible, and it's the who, not how. And it just really kind of speaks to what we're trying to build here. And I think I want to say that every week our calls are different. They take on a different type of essence. This week, we're focusing on life insurance. Didn't know that, but it's important and it's essential. And the mission or the goal is for us to begin to find our who's, and not only just for yourselves, but for your counterparts. So that is why we're saying about talking about yourself, talking about your business, so that we can go out and we can know who you may need to connect with, not how you can solve this problem, but who can you connect with, or who can we bring back to FTB that can help us excel and grow and accomplish our goals. So I'm harping on the book, but it's really good. I had some great conversation in our sometimes we're on the call a little bit earlier. I had a great talk with Bondress and with George, and just reiterating the value of this book, who, not how. And so we don't want to just come on the calls, and I'm going to start doing a better job myself, but we need to invite people. We need to invite more who's. The more who's that we have, the more connections that we can make, and the faster we can accelerate. That's really what this book says, accelerating through teamwork. And so that is our goal. We don't want for you to just come, but we want you to come and to bring and to spread the word about Flip These Bricks, and that you have the confidence in spreading the word about them. I know that a part of it is having a clear goal and a clear vision. And we are still navigating through that. And we're thankful for the grace that has been shown, but we do know for sure that we want to be a connecting point for like-minded people, for entrepreneurs. We do know for sure that we want to introduce people to our community. That is for sure. So by spreading the word and by inviting people, you are definitely in line with our mission here at FTB and building a community of professional business people that want to excel and want to share and want to grow. So tonight is interesting because Daniel's on a different time zone. He's in Dallas and I've been out of town. Hi, Janae. I was telling them earlier how much, I don't know if you were on the call when I said it was so great seeing you in person, and that I'm just traveling somewhere and I can make a phone call and connect with someone that is, that I see online every week. It was really good. I was happy to see you, and I hope you enjoyed the time as well. I know that she may be at work, so she can't chime in, but I just saw her wave, so that was awesome.
I'm here. I can say a little bit. It was great to see you as well. Just putting like just being able to see you in person actually, brought this to reality for me. Like, okay, this is real. We were able to share and, hug, and, it was just awesome. So I'm just glad to be a part of this, and I'm looking forward to the many ventures to come. And yeah, great things are in the works. I'm excited about this.
Very good. I am as well. And I'm that is one of my missions. I've been telling Daniel, I was like, I want to go and visit more members and have more in-person meetings. So we're definitely going to make that a priority. I know that I owe some t-shirts as well to some of our newer members, so we're working on that as well. right? And then I just had another book suggestion. I am the book lady. So I was saying that this is the month of March. We're coming up on ending the first quarter this year, this first quarter of this year. So another great book to read is called The 12-Week Year. This breaks your year down into 4 years, 4 quarters. And so as we're entering into March, it's a great time to just do an assessment, looking at what you have done well, what needs improvement, what you have accomplished, what is still to be worked upon. And so this is a great book that can outline that for you and help you with that. Read more books, guys, read more books, a lot of information. And we are, like I said, we're moving forward as well. We have some really great news coming. I'm not going to share it just yet, but just know that things are working and growing in the background. We're steady evolving. Yes. So good things to come. Anybody else want to unmic and share with us? Share some good news, share some of the struggles that you may be having. If you can let us know what some of your challenges are, then maybe we can find a who to help you solve that. So.
And then also, Jasmine, to just add to piggyback to everything that you're saying, as far as our current members, don't hesitate to bring your thoughts to the table. You guys are doing a great job. We all showing up on our weekly calls and we just have an open line of communication. And this is where it starts, just knowing that we have a comfortable platform that we could actually communicate on. But let's utilize this a little bit more. Let's go a little bit further. If you guys, especially on the real estate side, whether it's investing in your own businesses, if you guys have ideas, you guys see properties that you're interested in, bring those to the portal. Send them to deals. Contact me directly. Text me. Let's talk about these things. You'd be surprised how many properties that you might come across on a day-to-day basis that just might be the deal that the group could actually come together to help fund. So let's utilize this platform so we can figure out how to make everything that each one of us are actually doing to become reality, become fruitful. These weekly calls is great. They're educational. We're learning, and we're building the momentum. But we need to utilize the actual tools. I was speaking to Vondris last week, and I had a chance to speak with her son, and we talked about some interesting things. And there's a lot of programs out here. With NACA being one of them, that we need to share these information because NACA is just to touch on NACA a little bit. NACA is a program that has the lowest interest rates in the country. They're not really put in place for investment purposes, but they can be used for investment opportunities, especially if you're looking for rentals, if you're looking for multifamily properties and stuff like that. There's so many different platforms that you guys can utilize, but we need you guys to actually ask the questions and so we can figure out how we can turn something, into your reality. I know Maria, she's into, she wants to learn more, more about wholesaling. Well, if you have any wholesaling questions or even a property, bring it to the table so we can analyze it. Maybe it's not a deal that can be wholesale, but at the same time, we want to meet every individual where they're at so we can then go out into our personal resources. Because even though who we looking for might not currently at this time be a FTB member, they still resources within our network that we can actually reach out to. And then the next thing I want to challenge you guys in, for the people that's actually on a call that does have the direct contact. If you don't have the direct contact, put your information in the chat, to reach out to Jasmine. So this way, we can be able to communicate with you, regardless of what position you think you may be, whether you overqualify or not sure if you do qualify. I want you guys to send us an email and let us know if you guys are interested in doing a group investment deal. We touched on it a little bit last week, but right now what we're doing is we're gonna put this power to partnership in action. You know, we got several members who's actually working together as we speak individually, that has purchased properties and working. We got a couple of people that's at the end, end of their deal. We finally got the approval for the building permit for the house we're building in Texas. That's why I'm down here now, so we can actually break ground. And we're going to be sharing the rest of the story of that project now that we're ready to put a foundation. So over the next 90 days, we're looking to have this, particular house completed. But what I want to do as a group, I want us to buy a property together. I want us to take the bare minimum, and I want us to figure out what 100% of anything means as a full dollar value when it comes to a percentage wise. And I want us to be able to figure out how we can fit on that deal, whether I'm 1% in or I'm 50% in. And collectively, as a group and as a member, we all going to fit in, and we're going to go through the process, and we're going to be able to get a deal done. So if you're interested and it's something that you're interested in doing, I currently have a deal under contract that this deal could work. There's several deals out here. So just let us know if this is something you're interested in, because what we want to start doing on our weekly calls, we want to start showing all of our new members what it looks like to joint venture in the power of partnership amongst each other on a small scale. Because if we can prove and show, and it's already being proven, that obviously we can work together, and individuals are doing it on their own, but collectively, I want to be able to show it on a small scale, so you guys get in a position, so when it's time for us to buy that piece of land and we able to put up apartment complex, that's the position that we want to get in. So right now, it's not about, getting the big project that's going to yield the highest amount, because we might be 100% all in on our own. Let's just see where you can get in at whatever percentage that your financial strengths allow you to be at. And then by time our next week call, we should have some commitments among some members who want to get involved. And we're going to identify a project, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to do a project together. So therefore, we can actually get things moving forward. So when we are inviting our members and friends and colleagues to the table to want to join FTB, they understand more, not just, the business network that we're building. They get to see that you're actually engaging and you're involved in something that's actually being fruitful for you and your family. And then that will build more confidence, because you'd be surprised how many people that you personally know that may become your private investor. They may not want to be hands-on because they're busy, but you'd be surprised how much private money, how many 401ks or savings that might be sitting to the side, how many people may just believe in you personally. And this is how real estate success is developed, because every successful real estate person is always using other people's money. So we're going to use each other's money in order for us to be able to push each other forward, on a deal. So it could be 10 of us, it could be 35 of us, it doesn't matter. We're going to take a deal, we're going to put it together, and we're going to get the funding for it, and we're going to do a deal together collectively over the next couple of weeks. So I just want to know who's up for the challenge, so we can put your name in a hat, and then we can start having that particular conversation, and we're going to keep moving forward from there.
All right, we got Daniel I'm sorry, Joseph has a comment or question.
Oh no, I mean, I was just saying, please put me in. Please add to that list. And I did have somebody, I think he's going to be getting off soon, Keith. If he's here, before we go, I wanted him to introduce what he's doing as well. A couple people I brought in to the conversation, but I just want to be included into that.
Gotcha.
Yes, yeah, Keith, you can definitely, we'd love to hear from you. Please unmute, and if you would, turn on your camera if you can, and introduce yourself. Cool, Keith.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Great, how are you?
Can you hear me?
We
Good.
can hear you. Yes.
Uh,
Did we lose him?
Oh, I think he did drop off. But when he comes back on, we can definitely give him the floor again. I did want to mention really quickly. Oh, there he is.
There you go.
There
There
you
you
go.
go.
yeah, my signal's kind of weak. How y'all doing tonight?
Great, thank you.
Thank you, Joseph, for inviting. Thank you, Joseph, for inviting me. My name is Keith Alexander. I'm basically my business is farming. So, or some people call it agribusiness today, but from third generation farming, we just keep it simple. It's farming. I also run a food hub, which is located in South Carolina, and we work Atlanta, South Carolina, and parts of North Carolina. And our goal is what we do is we redistribute local food from Black farmers across the state, all the way back to Atlanta. So, we've been doing this for 10 years now with the aggregation and redistribution. And we've also touched a lot of communities of color and people in need through food giveaways. So we do a food giveaway about 1 month where we post up and we just give out boxes. We really had a lot of success. We did over 10,000 boxes during COVID, that period. So we've just been out here promoting, advocating, working on legislating for farmers to get their due just and money. There's a lot of money out here. So we also educate people on how to get money from the USDA that they deserve or need for their infrastructure on their property. And so by doing that, we just impact lives, not only in rural areas, but now in urban areas. We're letting them access the funds that the federal government has for allocations they have for not only just land owners, but people who also lease land.
Awesome. I'm like definitely would love it if you would put your information in the chat, Keith. And then also I would want to hear more about when you do your giveaways in Atlanta. So that's like my stomping ground. So, and we have a lot of members actually that are in the Atlanta area that can come out and support. So please, thank you for your information. And if you would put it in the chat, we'd greatly appreciate it.
And we got one member that's not on the call
Definitely.
tonight, actually do a lot of investing in the South Carolina area that actually have land in South Carolina. So,
Yes,
and that's mainly like just listening to, to some of what you were saying. I would like to, have a one-on-one call with you so I can get a better understanding of who you are and what are your ultimate goals. Because as I'm listening, I'm hearing, being able to facilitate a place where, we can start farming some internal goods to be able to have
I'm
more
getting that.
product that can actually, be distributed and stuff like that as well. So definitely, definitely put all your information and let's be able to schedule, one-on-one calls so we can kind of carve out a niche on how FTB can support to push, that particular agenda throughout our community outreach platform.
Yes.
Yes, and I just want to throw out there real quick. That's exactly we were bringing him to the table for, because with all the land that we're getting, all the homes that we basically refurbishing and buildings. Well, it's always great that if you can add a component of agriculture and food and the development of it. I mean, I never forget it, but the first time they took us to this farm, they asked me, they said, Mr. Bailey, when you go into your refrigerator, when you pull out your food, would you ever take a bug spray can and spray your food and then eat it? I said, why would I do that? Why would I pull my food out of the refrigerator and spray it with bug spray and then eat it? He said, well, basically, that's what you do each and every single day. We all do it. So his ultimate goal, I don't know if he came back in. It looks like he came out for a minute. But the ultimate goal is to basically restaurant. Or is he back? Because he's great to talk to you about in reference to what those are. Because I just know at the end of the day is what I know of the platform that Flip These Bricks are building all over the country, and the direction of his vision to make sure that we educate people on the food we eat and making sure that we are able to distribute it and also create more farms and get ready for everything that's coming. So he's that man. He's the guy that we've chosen to continue to do what he does. And he doesn't just do it on his own through his business, but he actually is implementing his influence to help get it through get it politically written into laws, to officially. So he's a great asset to everything we bring in, and he know a lot of players that buy and sell homes and real estate and all these things as well. So I just wanted to make sure I clearly communicated who he is. But go ahead, Keith. I think he wanted to ask you a question, but that's all.
Well, I just want to say, Keith, please put your information in the chat before you drop off again. So do that first ASAP so that we can have a way to connect with you offline. And then Daniel, if you have an additional question, go ahead.
No, I don't. I was going to say the same thing. Just make sure he
Please
put his
make sure you put your
information in the
information.
chat, so this way we can be able to have that one-on-one conversation with him.
And
Yeah,
I did
definitely.
want to, and it's funny that you're on the call because I was going to mention Lehman, Florida. It's a area that actually is, what do they call it when you don't have any grocery stores in the area? It's like a dry food area, I
Food
believe.
desert.
Yes,
They call it a food desert, but we
a
don't
food desert.
believe in saying that word.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
because there's no such thing as a desert where you can grow food.
Thank you. But I also wanted to bring Lehman up just for anyone who may be interested in the Florida market because this area is now beginning to grow. They're building a lot of HUD communities, like, HUD's interested in it and as well. So definitely up and coming area in Florida that has some great potential and that has some like entry level housing. So Lehman, Lealman. That's how you spell it. If anyone's interested in Florida. I'm doing a little bit of research.
Hey, Keith, I have a question for you, if you don't mind answering. What area of South Carolina do you guys operate in? And Daniel, I was also wanted to inquire about your investor in South Carolina. I'm originally from South Carolina. That's why I asked. I have, born and raised there. I moved to Atlanta maybe 20 years ago, but I'm originally from South Carolina.
SC in the building, baby. SC in the building.
Right. So currently, as far as business in South Carolina, we are the first Black food hub in South Carolina. So we work across the state with the other food hubs. We're part of the South Carolina Food Hub Network, Greenville, Charleston, any town in between, because our farmers are located in Sumter. I'm from Newberry, so I still farm myself. So currently I'm in Atlanta right now. I live in Atlanta, but I go home every summer, and I'm in the fields myself. Between the times of in the fields, we're locating and finding watermelons, okra, squash, eggplants. We're introducing young people to commerce as far as selling yellow watermelons, orange watermelons, showing them the health benefits of it as well. What does lycopene do? So the whole education of it goes into it as well. So we look at what we do as an extension of George Washington Carver's work in totality, along with controlling our food system infrastructure. The average household spends $1,500 on groceries per month. And that's probably a little higher now, but within that mix, when we talk about the food and the food system, we don't know where our food comes from. Not many black people touch our food. We support all these box retail stores, but we get no benefit from the commerce of it. And in Georgia, it's a $78 billion industry. In South Carolina, it's the largest industry of $42 billion. And in North Carolina, it's round up in 60 billion too. So we're in these billion-dollar industries, and each one of these three states, along with the rest of the union, operate in a deficit. And when I say a deficit, I'm meaning that if we had to segue $42 billion out of South Carolina, which is the ag revenue, about 12 billion of that is vegetable and fruit production. So 90% of that does not come from within inside the state. That comes from elsewhere. And elsewhere, I mean California, Mexico mainly, by the way of the ports. So they're not going to close the borders anytime soon, because that's a myth, because all our food comes from over there. So what we want to do is, because we have these deficits of $10 billion gaps right here in all these states, why on land, why cannot we be a part of that food system and have our foods in these box retail stores, or have our food locally distributed like we do, to, i.e., directly to people, directly to churches, directly to community organizations, and not only benefit, always talking about the health portion, because we understand as farmers, we get the health because we grow the food. So we want the monetary gain from it, because I watched my grandfather farm and didn't make the monetary gain from it. So I watched my dad do a little bit of not watching. And so now he's watching me, and we finally benefit third generations. But that can continue on, because there's less than 2% of the population that farms, but 100% of us eat. So when we think about that, we should be always having a game plan to be in the food space, and not just on the end piece of owning restaurants and stuff. When I look at Atlanta suffers from, they have great restaurants, Black-owned restaurants, but everybody has to go to Cisco or whoever, or Restaurant Depot. So these are owned by Jews, these are owned by outside people who don't have our best interests and who don't pour into our own community. When we have farmers that farm every day and grow some of the best tomatoes, grow some of the best things that we have in our restaurants already, and why can't we provide that? Why can't we show younger people how to actually provide that? How to be a watermelon king, because that's what we're coming out with this summer. You know, commodities exchange, peanuts. George Washington Carver took the peanut literally from an unknown commodity to where it stays 6 in the top 10 commodities ever since he touched it. And he's praised by every white man, but nobody Black benefits off of peanuts other than eating them. So we got to just change that narrative of how we come in and actually use some of our land, how we leverage some land in the South to provide for these major cities like Atlanta, New York, Chicago, that have a large portion of our populations. But the land, we need to show that commodity exchange in between interstate and intercounty and locally. So, you know, if we start thinking like that, we start engaging our churches, our fraternal organization, our sorority organization, our Masonic lodges and organizations, and we say, hey, eat from someone who looks like you. You might use the other resources, but why can't we support each other in something that we do and that everybody does every day?
Yes, every day. We all eat every day. Appreciate that. Thank you. And then what area Daniel is the investor? I can't think his name right now. And I should know.
Jay, he's in
Jay.
if I'm not mistaken, it's over in Orangeburg area, not too far from St. Matthews, you know, down over in that particular area, but I'll find out. But everything the gentleman was just speaking,
Yeah.
sounds like a potential investment opportunity for members of the organization. And that's why I said a conversation to be able to have offline, so we can paint the picture of what's really needed, so we can be able to present it to our organization on how we can actually turn what he's saying. And I'm not saying he doesn't already have it. He may have it already together for us to take a look at. But you know, collectively, we want to see how that transpires into something real that we can put some numbers to and work towards becoming investments. You know, like I said, we here to invest amongst each other. Not all about real estate, it's about opportunities. And this, what he's speaking, is huge. I know it is, I know it to be true. And I know it's an industry that's untapped, especially when it comes to us having our hands involved. So I'm all for, you know, wanting to learn a little bit more about, you know, what your organization do as far as a company, how does it profit, and how we can, you know, start distributing. And even if we pick one city, you know, and we start going in that direction, I don't know, maybe one of us open up a bodega and then eventually a grocery store. And we put the products in there, and that's where it starts. And eventually your products get to be, in other places. So we definitely appreciate, the information, and I look forward to a further conversation so we can figure out how the organization become, an anchor, for what is it that you want to do.
Yes.
I wanted to add that I would like to be a part of that conversation when that next one happens with
Mhm.
Cool Keith and Joseph the Dreamer and Daniel and everyone that's interested in the farming. My grandfather passed away some years ago, and I own a 23-acre farm that I just pay taxes for. So I would like to know more about the business of farming. I've written up some plans before for crops and, and how to coordinate with the trucking in the area. But there's this hands-on portion. And that's also something that I struggle with being on the West Coast with FTB. Um, I'm a little bit like outside of the reach of things, but with technology increasing and how to get forms done, and even having remote work crews are becoming easier tasks nowadays with a network. So I would like to be included in that because I would like to see that land uh, utilized again. When my grandfather was alive, he had cows, horses, tractors, and it's just been parked for many years now. So looking forward to learning more about that.
That's you speaking, Ebony?
Yeah,
Yes.
I thought that was Ebony, because she talked to me about this land. We've been talking about this land for many, many years, and everything happened in timing. Everything happened in timing. The land is here in Texas. I'm here in Texas now, so
Yeah.
I'm actually met a really, really interesting, individual down here in Texas. Young brother too. He's 34 years old. Doing great things in real estate for himself. But for the most part, he's the first black that I ever personally met. I'm sure there's many out there that's in the oil industry. And Ebony, your land is in Texas where they're drilling. You might have oil in your property, so I just think that certain
Well, I didn't want to
relationships
spill the
align.
beans on everything at once, but I own several pieces of property out there. One has oil, one has a river, one has a well. The farm has a well of its own. The other one across town has a river and oil and a historical landmarker. So there's some different things going on down there in Texas that I've just been
Wow.
kind of just dealing with.
Yeah.
Just dealing with.
And I just want to say, Ebony, that you are not out of the loop and you're not out of reach. You are connecting to your who's. You're getting feet on the ground for what you need. So we appreciate you being on the West Coast because we're coming out there too. So it's
I'm
just
so
about,
looking forward to it.
yeah,
And
just like
me
what
and,
Daniel.
and me and Joseph are traveling men, so we do not mind going to Texas to walk your property. I'm sure he will go right with me.
I'm
Right?
ready right now. I'm ready.
All
That sounds
right.
so delicious what she was
Why
speaking.
is it that the
So
trips
delicious.
are always guys' trips? I'm starting to have a problem with that, Daniel. I like to walk land too. Okay. Always
You're
a
definitely
guy's trip.
invited.
I'm like, geez. But as always, the phone calls are great. They always have their own little flavor, and we're learning and growing and developing. I enjoy the calls every week. Even though I'm a time person, I want you guys to know that I do enjoy them. I respect everyone's time, but I enjoy when we come together. And it seems like every week we're just learning more about each other and it's beginning to connect the dots, just like Daniel was just saying. Now we're in Texas. Ebony has land in Texas. Joseph brought the farmer. Luther's going to help us fund it. We got insurance with George. So, you know, it's all coming together. And just having a transparent moment, even in the moments of frustration, or it's like, you know, is this growing? Is this developing? It's moments like this, it's these type of conversations that get me remotivated, revamped, and wanting to keep push forward. And I hope you guys feel the same way as well. When you come on these calls, you leave motivated and encouraged and ready to do some work, because it is in the do. Me and Ms. Bondress was talking about that earlier. It's in the do, D-O, gotta do it. So hopefully you all are on your individual times doing the work to attain your dreams and your goals and your real estate aspirations. Anyone else want to share or come
Good,
on to say hello?
good evening. I'm gonna try my best. My voice is a little hoarse, but this meeting has been absolutely phenomenal. I'm just so grateful. Um, just what my ears have heard today. It's like, again, it's like when I heard Daniel speaking, I was like, yes, this is it, no brainer. Like that light bulb, just, being in the right place at the right time. You know, well, first of all, I have a ministry, global ministry, which is a homeless shelter as well as a ministry. I have a children's ministry that's global. And I was listening to our brother Keith sharing about that land and farming, because we actually have a family that lives in St. Lucia, and they have a house and they do their own little farming right there where they live. And we had a meeting on Saturday, and he's about to be off for a whole entire year on vacation. And I was like, oh my God, and we getting ready to go to Florida. So I'm like, we definitely want to put our feet in Florida with this 501c3. We got the paperwork for the tax exempt, and they told us that we can get property, we can get whatever we need in the whole state of Florida tax exempt. So with that happening, I'm like, listen, let's go. Let's DO. Let's DO so we can DUE and DEW. Get our do. Amen. Just blessed to be here and everything that I've heard. Apostle Stevens, I invited her. She didn't get a chance to speak, but she left her information. She's actually in New York. She's in the Bronx, and she works with Medicaid. So she's dealing with all these people that's coming in, the immigrants and all that stuff. So, she's in that arena where, building our people, getting our men off the street, is another thing. Trying to put them back in a position where, they are actually becoming the head of their household. That is one of the ministries that One Heart for the Harvest hopes to do, and providing shelter for those that are homeless and rebuilding people. So I'm excited. I'm excited about this journey. I really am.
Yes, Joseph.
I just wanted to, Vondress, did you say St. Lucia?
Yes, I said St. Lucia.
Okay, well, there's a big name out there in St. Lucia named Bellas, Bellas. And ma'am?
No, I was saying Bellas.
Bellas, yes. They're like family to me. And they're family there, and there's family in New York as well. And Eddie Bellas. And so anyway, there's some great people. I not only want you to meet, but they would love to do any project or anything that you're doing out there in St. Lucia. And they got it's like their father is a part of the political world. And I mean, it's a lot going on, and they do music. And so it's a lot of support there and in New York. So I just heard them when you started speaking from there.
Yeah,
yes.
We got Jamaica too. We got Kingston. We even have people in the UK as well.
Yeah, they
Alabama.
Yeah.
We have one of these girls have land in Alabama. So yeah, I think we're gonna do some great things together.
I do as well. So Ms. Vondress, make sure you get Joseph's information out of the chat, and vice versa. Ms. Vondress put her information in the chat as well. And I know that we've been talking about a directory. I've just been trying to figure out how to create it where it can be for members only, and that's been a bit of a challenge on the website. I do think that we'll be able to do it on Mighty Networks. I know that I haven't been active on Mighty Networks, guys. Please excuse me. You know, I was down and then had a little vacation, but please don't leave Mighty Networks. I'm going to pump it back up. I'm going to rev it back up. And I think this will be the place where we can share our directory information with our members only. So that will definitely be a benefit of becoming a member. So stay tuned for that and just know that more things are coming. I'm going to rev back up on Mighty Networks. We're going to be sharing the project in Dallas. Going to share some of Dobbs Ferry as well. Daniel doesn't really talk much about his current projects that he has going on, but he has a great project going on in New York. And then we're going to begin to share that as well. And then, as always, I'm going to encourage you all. We talked about this last week about putting potential properties in Mighty Networks. By doing it, you gain muscle memory, you know. So as an investor, one of the questions is, how do I analyze a property? How do I know that if this is a good investment? It's through practice. Okay. And one of the books that we were reading prior, it talks about, do you think that your first deal or your fifth deal is going to be the most profitable? And more than likely, it's going to be your fifth one, because you'll be seasoned, you'll have more knowledge. And so don't be intimidated by dropping properties into Mighty Networks and asking questions. We have seasoned investors who have experience, who can help you with the analysis. But the first step is to put them in Mighty Networks. So I'm challenging you. Last week we did it. I don't think anyone posted anything in there. So I'm going to start like calling you all out, but let's start putting potential properties of interest, so that you can learn what to look for, how to analyze, what the numbers are supposed to look like. If it's in a great market, all of these things can be answered on the portal and through practice. So I encourage you all, do not to step out of your comfort zone. You know, change happens in uncomfortable places. It's not going to be a comfortable process to get to the end, but it is worth it. It is worth it. So just trust the process. And the first step is to start looking for properties and putting them into Mighty Networks and creating, and let's stir up some conversation about your interest. Okay. That's my soapbox moment. Anyone else have any questions or comments? Even when I try to get off this call early, when it's like, I'm like, okay, it's looking like we might be able to get off a little early. It goes on and we just create more conversation. So I don't want to stop the flow. If anyone else has any questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, here's the time.
Well, I would like to congratulate. I know last week we officially congratulated Mike Sherrod as one of our newest members. Yes. And I know Jasmine mentioned last week she was like one of our oldest members, but we all giggled about it because he is our senior. But when she said our oldest member, it wasn't, you know, due in age. It was due in time. It was due in time frame. Because because last week we all had a giggle about that. But you know, Michael Sherrod, he been on our Zoom calls from day one. So he is officially one of the oldest official unincorporated members.
Yes.
Within the organization, as well as he's one of our seniors. So just know, Mike, when we said the oldest member of the organization last week, we didn't mean in age. We meant since day one. You know, he's been on our calls, he's been listening in, and he finally decided to actually join. He brought Anthony, which I knew Anthony already through Michael Sherrod. So they kind of came as a package deal. Both of them have joined the organization. Both of them are engineers. And Michael Sherrod actually received his first commission check for his referral. So our system works. We wanna utilize it, and we want it to become fruitful for us. All of us can use an extra $2,000 or $3,000 a month. It could be $10,000 or $20,000 a month. if we can reach out to our networks. And I don't want you guys to feel like going into your personal networks, you're selling something unbelievable. Like, we're selling tangible things. And this is what we call relationship building. If the Better Business Bureau and all of these networking organizations can do it, and they can charge you thousands of dollars a year to become members of an organization, there's no reason why us as a group of people, we can't come together and speak to the people that's close to us or within our business network, to spend a one-time $1,500 fee to be part of a great organization that we're growing, where we actually pushing to make sure that every individual in this organization is becoming successful. And like I always mention, I like to stress it the most. 1,000 of that 1,500, we pay it forward to the person who actually, did the actual referral.
Yes.
There's organizations that charge 100 grand a year to be part of memberships of country clubs. We are way greater than a country club. A country club, they come, they play golf, they talk, they meet each other, and they may end up doing business, but it's really about lifestyle. We're advocating for each other, and we're the cheapest in the industry, period. But if you look at the principles behind what we're doing, we're the only organization that's actually trying to empower the people financially. Because in reality, if we really push what we're doing, we're just going to keep recycling our funds forward and keep recycling our funds forward. And we're going to keep empowering the people that we actually bring to the table. And the more business owners that we actually bring to the table, the more conversations we have, the more we can share in the power of partnerships, and more people that we have advocating, for each other. So, we're at the ground level of this thing, and we want to see this thing grow. So find 2 or 3 people that you can talk to and be clear, like, listen, it's going to cost you to get in. But what other business is going to turn around and pay you right back for you to do the same thing I'm telling you to do? And this isn't network marketing, and this isn't going to take you 30 days to get commission by bringing in 10 people. The minute that one person come in, we're going to take that 1,000 and send it right back to you. And we're going to kind of keep pushing it forward. So, Michael, congratulations for receiving your first commission.
Yeah.
Now you have to encourage Anthony, so Anthony can now do the same thing. So his $1,000 that went into your pocket, he receives it back in his by doing the same thing. And Gina, she also have taken advantage of it a couple of times already.
Yes.
With members that she has brought to the table. So we wanna kind of keep really pushing, that forward. The gentleman that Joseph brought to the table, Cool Keith, tonight, we encourage him to join, become a member, and look at that $1,500 investment as the investment that he's investing in an organization that's going to constantly keep pushing this agenda, knowing that out of that 1,500, Joseph just made $1,000 tonight. And we want to constantly keep pushing that and being clear with the people that's coming on board, so we know that we are here to make money amongst each other. And after that one-time fee, there's no other fees. We already waived the yearly fee, which we haven't officially launched it yet. But we was gonna be like other organizations and just charge a minimum of a yearly fee, because we know that it's a great organization. But us here at FTB, we're not in this business to make money off of membership. We in this business to make money, through the relationships we build and the opportunities that we create, that we are willing to work for individually, for ourselves and within our business and for others. So we're not trying to get 100,000 people in the organization so we can become millionaires off of the membership dues. We want to be able to host these Zooms. We want to be able to, at the minimum, pay for the platforms that it take to keep all of our communication and everything together. But we want our members to come in. The day that I see a person come in because they invited 15 people and 10 of them joined and they made $10,000 on a call, and we on a call an hour and a half, you made $10,000 within an hour and a half of your time. This is real. This is how real it really is. And as Joseph being a salesman, I know he understands what the side of sales are. And for those who's uncomfortable with sales, you guys are going to have to start getting comfortable with sales, because your current businesses won't be successful if the sales department isn't operating. So in every business, all of us, we're CEOs, we're business owners. But once we put our physical trade down, whether we into social work or insurance or carpentry or construction, if we don't understand anything about marketing, branding, and advertising, and knowing that all three of those things are completely different, our current businesses won't be successful. So take what I'm saying and apply that to your own businesses and really turn on your sales hat. And then you're going to realize how comfortable it really, really is to be able to sell such a great platform that we all are a part of and we represent. So therefore, you can take advantage of these commissions, because this is one of the fastest way to generate an extra $2,000 or $3,000 a month by just constantly bringing people on our weekly calls. And it start within our circle. Take what we're doing individually, call a few people over to your home, have your own personal meeting, let them know what is it that you're doing, bring them to the call, let them know what this platform is about. So then when they get to meet everybody else within the platform, they comfortable to understand why we actually here. Selling real estate and investing into farmland, that's just what we do. Community outreach, that's just what we do. All the other avenues that we haven't even scratched the surface with yet, that's just what we do. But collectively, we have to start empowering each other financially so we can start having that extra stream of income. So FTB is actually an extra stream of income for you guys. And I want y'all to really utilize it so we can actually grow individually, collectively together. So Joseph, call Cool Keith, get with Joseph, join this organization. And then Joseph, what I want you to do is I want you then to help Keith reach out to his network so Keith could then bring people to pay it forward, because when Michael Sherrod joined, Michael Sherrod, he paid $1,500, to join, but he already had $1,000 in our bank account because Anthony already had joined, and we were just waiting on Michael Sherrod to join. They didn't join at the same time. Anthony joined first. There was no timeline on Michael Sherrod to join, but when he did join, Anthony was always his referral. So we didn't have to say, well, you wasn't a member at that time. You might have people that might join a year before you did, but guess what? That was your referral. We went backwards to make sure Michael Sherrod actually got his commission, because ultimately Anthony would have never been part of our platform if Michael Sherrod wouldn't have brought him to the table. So I just wanted to kind of share that with you guys. And this is why it's important when you guys do become a member to, fill out the application so we can track and know exactly what's going on, within the organization itself.
Yes. Thank you. Very true. Power of partnership, our mantra. And we do believe that, and it is happening before our eyes. So great call tonight. I see that we kind of have some people dropping off. And as always, we are thankful and appreciative for each and every one of you. We are asking that you spread the word to talk more and more about Flip These Bricks and the movement that we have going on here. We are excited about our upcoming event in Atlanta. I think we locked down a date, or at least I have. I don't know if Daniel knows yet, but it will be in late April. So I won't say it officially, but that is coming. And we're hoping to invite a few of our members or our affiliates to sit on a panel. So great things are coming, guys. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much. I'm going to shut it off. I'm going to shut it down before we get started again. Hope to see you all next Monday. Have a productive week. Stay positive.
And the last thing before you cut it off, Jasmine, this is what I want to do. I want to challenge our members. We got a service provider in here, George Maple. I want to challenge our members to go out into your communities and find out who do not have life insurance. And by next week, I want you guys to send him a referral to someone. I'm going to be my own referral. So George Maple, brother George
Me
Maple,
too.
I will be getting with you, and by next week we will be signing in my life insurance policy because we done talked about it. You done sent me a link. You contacted me, said, "Hey, you got the link. I will help you fill out the link because obviously I did not do the link." So I'm gonna do the link, and I'm gonna become your client next week. It's on the board officially as a group, so I can't take it back.
Nerd.
And let's collectively, if you don't have life insurance, let's reach out to George Maple. He is our life insurance person here
Yes,
on our group this week.
I agree. I
George, check
concur.
your email. This is Ebony.
Yes,
I already sent the email. Check your email, George. See,
good.
Daniel already got my points. I already did my referral. I got mine in.
Love it.
Yes, this makes me so happy. Okay, this is a great way to end the call. Get your life insurance, people. Get it together by next Monday. Okay, I'm gonna do a check-in. I'm gonna be like, who? And George, I need you on the call so that I can know they're telling the truth. Okay. Thank
I
you
love
guys
it.
so much. Get your life insurance, get your life right, prioritize your goals, take it day by day, and spread the love, spread the joy. Have a great night,
You guys
guys.
enjoy the rest of your
Thank
day.
you,
Take care.
guys.
Yes,
All
thank you
right.
guys. Have a great night.
Love you guys.
I love you
Good
too.
night,
Yes,
everybody.
good
Have a
night.
great
Go,
day.
Look at Donald coming in at the
Hey,
end. We
yes.
just
Oh,
missed
hi,
Mr. Donald.
Donald. How are
Man.
you?
Hello, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm
Can
great,
can
thanks.
can
You could quickly
send?
introduce yourself to
Yeah,
Daniel and myself and whoever's still on the call.
And then
yeah,
also,
that's my
Jasmine,
guy.
you could email Joseph the link, and Joseph could send it to him because this is recorded. So
Okay,
this way he can be able to catch the rest of the meeting as well.
definitely.
Yes.
And one more thing before you go, Donald. Mr. Sherrod, if I was going to call anybody the old man, it would be Daniel, not you. You are the young man on the call, okay? Daniel's the grandpa.
I
Okay.
love it.
Yeah, I feel like it today. I know y'all don't see the enthused energy, but I'm still here.
Yes. All right, Donald, please introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I don't even know what the meeting's about. I saw it. I saw who it was, and so I hopped on.
Okay, great.
Yeah. So I'm Donald.
Donald,
Yeah, and I'm not sure setting type of meeting that I
not a
would say
problem. How did you find the link? How did you find the link?
it was sent to me.
Oh, okay. Okay, by Joseph.
Yes.
Yeah, Joseph is our number one recruiter. We love him for that. Well, we're an investment and business network. So we love entrepreneurs or those who are developing a business to come on and tell about themselves, tell about their business so that we can refer business to you. And then we're also looking for real estate opportunities. And if you're interested in real estate, the possibilities of investing. That's kind of what we do.
I'm gonna change my environment because I have this going on in my home right now. I have
Man, you always
Oh,
got
wow. You're doing like
you
a
always
camp
got
or
that
something.
going
You're the
on,
kid
man.
guy. Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's okay. But
I-
Joseph, what you could do, Joseph, if you want to one, get with Jasmine so Jasmine can be able to get the link to you because it will go up on YouTube. However, she'll have it sooner. Have her send you the link so at least he can watch this particular meeting. And then if
Yes.
you want to send him to YouTube so he can kind of see some of the past meetings, schedule a call between myself, you, and him.
That's what I
So we
want to
can we can have a one-on-one because it's already 8:30.
do.
But I definitely would like to get to know him. And then hopefully we can get him to come back to our next week call as well.
Yes.
But see if you can set up the one-on-one, Joseph, as well as Jasmine, send Joseph the direct link.
I will.
So we can we can meet Mr. Donald.
Okay.
Perfect.
So,
Perfect.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, I will
Donald,
definitely
you
do
came
that.
right at the end. We were just signing
Yeah.
out. And so Jasmine is the host, and got the president and everybody there. They opened the door up for you to come in. So hey, look, hey, I appreciate you, man. But he's a great asset, and
Yes.
this is what he do indirectly. And so once he learned about what we're doing, I'm sure he see the direct mutual benefit. But I know he came because of the respect he had for me, and I have a respect for him as well. That's why I invited him.
2 seconds before we hang up, Donald, can you
Mhm.
put your information in the chat? That way I can
There
send you
you
some
go.
stuff
That's even better.
directly, and you can get our events and all those updates. So if you could just put your name, number,
Even
and
better.
email in the chat before we disconnect, that would be great.
Thank you.
And
Even
then
better.
also, yeah, we're here every Monday, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So you can definitely join us next week as well.
I don't know if that's going to be possible
It's okay.
because of, yes, but I will put my information in here.
Yeah,
I
please do.
I'm a business owner. I do invest in real estate and things like that, and full-time student as well.
Awesome.
But yeah, okay. I have a martial arts school in San Diego, and I also have I teach out of my home as well. I do personal fitness, yoga, all those things.
Neat. Okay, so we have to connect you to Ebony because, well, she's not, she's in California. I think she's in LA, but she would love to know somebody is on the West Coast with her. She was just talking about that today.
Yeah, but I've invested in real estate all my life. I've never had a job.
Oh, very good. Okay, so that means you're willing to teach too. Teach what you know.
We did that at one time.
It's coming again. I'm giving you forewarning. It's coming again. We're looking for our who's. I keep talking about this book right here.
Oh yeah,
Who Not How, by Daniel Sullivan. So maybe you're one of our new who's.
All right.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, it's a
All right,
pleasure.
very good. It was well.
Okay.
Thank you. I can't believe Daniel hung up. Look at him. He is just funny acting tonight. All right, guys. Thank you so much. Good night.
I love you guys.
Love
Thank
you
you.
too.
Thank you.
See you next week.
Yes.
Take care, guys.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.